Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Quotable. I am Dutch.
You know who I am.
And this week we are delving all the way back to 1988. And this movie here is probably one of the best spoof movies ever made. But I believe that it was one of the best because there's no finer spoofer in the world than Leslie Jameson Nielsen. Actually, I don't know if that was his middle name or not.
They could be.
Yeah, it might be.
All right, well, let's jump on in.
Yeah, so hopefully, my funny face friend, if you're listening, welcome to The Naked Gun, Files from Police Squad.
Now, I didn't even know that The Naked Gun had a longer title than just The Naked Gun. I think everybody just refers to it as The Naked Gun.
Yeah, not a lot of people do know that, and the reason they did it, I was reading about it actually this morning, was there was a TV show called The Files from Police Squad. So they made it The Naked Gun, Files from Police Squad, to kind of poke fun at it, maybe also a little bit of homage to it, but I mean, you can't beat the movie.
But the name alone, it just kind of implies that they're not like a legitimate police squad.
Yeah. In his narration throughout the entire movie, there's oftentimes like the one where he wrecks his car. He's like, it was 4 p.m. when I returned to police squad. You know, I mean, most people would say when I returned to the precinct.
Yeah, and it wasn't like the LAPD or anything like that. You know, it was just police squad.
Yeah. That scene, though, is epic in its own right. Because he crashes into
another car, and then the airbag goes off.
Right.
And then it just continues to inflate, and then another airbag inflates, which puts the car back into drive.
Yeah.
So the car starts barreling down through the parking lot.
I like the lady's reaction, though, because she's like, hey, look out. And he just dives out of the way. But when he comes back and he's like, halt, police. And then just start shooting the car.
And then the back of the car explodes for some odd reason.
Right. Well, I mean, it's rigged that way.
And of course.
It wouldn't be a good movie.
It's in the script.
Yeah. All right. Anybody get the license plate? Anybody get a look at the driver?
Anything. Nobody?
I think the reason I like that scene so much is because it reminds me of Airplane when they put on autopilot.
Oh, yeah.
And the pilot actually inflates.
Oh, yes, it's like a blow-up doll.
Yeah, so you have a balloon flying a plane. So in this, you have a balloon essentially driving a car because, I mean, it goes down the street, hits a fire hydrant, there's water spewing up out of the air, misses every extra in the scene, but then pulls out into traffic and just takes off.
Yeah, as soon as it exits the parking lot, it turns right somehow. And then you see that there's 4 more airbags that are like inflated and sticking out all the side windows. Yeah, it was a very good scene. And I had to refamiliarize myself with this movie because I don't know, honestly, until now, I had seen the entire thing from beginning to end.
Right.
So it's another one of those. So you are reintroducing me to movies.
Well, in this particular movie, what was one of your favorite scenes? I mean, because this is a very this is a lot of kind of, it's almost like Mel Brooks. Like it's more visual, like a visual funny, as opposed to being like dialogue heavy.
Right, and Leslie Nielsen had a real knack for the physical comedy.
He did,
and that piece of it I did appreciate about this movie. Like it's a combination of the physical comedy plus the odd, stupid humor.
Right.
So like for instance, one of my memorable scenes is when he's in the lab. He's talking to the scientist, whatever, tech.
Yeah.
And so obviously they go into the lab so we can show him some things that he's been working on.
Right.
And then him and his partner,
Ed.
They walk through the door, and then Leslie Nielsen, a.k.a. Frank Drebin, he walks around this fake wall to the other side of the counter. So it's like little things like that. And then the fact that he was talking about some fibers that they were inspecting under a microscope, which they found some white powder on.
What is this? I can't see anything.
You got to use your open eye.
Oh.
So it's the little things like that.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
That I appreciate. It's like, yeah, so this may look like an ordinary shoe, but with the push of a button,
Yeah.
it's actually a dangerous weapon.
We call it the Swiss Army shoe.
Yeah, it has all these other accessories. I like how his partner was all like fascinated by it. He keeps pulling out all the other attachments, like the scissors.
One of my most memorable scenes is when he goes to see the dock master at Pier 32.
That is a good scene too, yeah.
And I mean, because it's always making fun of, like, you have that snitch that you have to pay money to because he's a CI and everything. So but when he does it, he was like, oh, this picture he's like, this face look familiar? He's like, I don't know, memory's kind of hazy. So he pulls out $20. He's like, how about now? And he was like, oh, still fuzzy.
A little fuzzy, yeah.
He pulls out another one. He was like, all right, yeah, he was out here dealing H.
It just took $40 to make him squeal.
Yeah. And he's like, what? I had to run you in right now. And then, but they go to bribing each other. So he's like, oh, why do you want to know who it is? And he was like, I don't think I should tell you that. And he was like, oh, yeah? Well, how about now?
He's like, yeah, no, I still don't think I should.
Yeah, and he's like,
another $20.
Yep. Now? He's like, all right, his name's Norberg. He's a cop. What? He was no cop. He was dealing H. Why, you sniveling scum? I had to run you in right now.
Yeah.
So, those
like, can you spot me at 20?
Yeah. You spot me 20? He's like, here you go. And he's, how about now? He's like, all right, fine. I'm going to go down to Lugwood's office and see if you're telling the truth.
Nordberg, played by the infamous O.J. Simpson.
Yep.
It's pretty funny. He doesn't have a whole lot of lines in this movie.
No.
You know, even at the beginning intro, he's on to these drug dealers that are on a boat.
He kicks down the door.
You know, he kicks through the door.
Yeah.
He attempts to kick down the door.
He wanted to kick down the door.
He tried. It just wasn't in the cards.
He did.
It's a very shoddy door,
yeah.
Clearly. And then there's like 7 or 8 guys in there.
Yeah, and they're all just getting ready. Like, they're loading up their guns. They're making sure that, you know, we got one in the chamber and everything. But he just walks in alone. He's like, police, throw down your guns.
Yeah.
And the one guy,
he throws his gun down.
Everyone's just looking at him like, what the hell are you doing, man?
Yeah, and then it just pans down to the floor, and then you see a door open, and then
with the ominous silhouette of
one Ludwig. I don't know what his first name.
Vincent
Ludwig.
Yeah, played by Ricardo Montalban.
Yes.
Which I was telling you yesterday had the one of the best ad-libbed lines for a commercial ever, because he was doing voiceover work, and there was a new Cadillac, and his ad-lib line was rich Corinthian leather, which is not a thing.
It doesn't exist.
It does not exist. But Cadillac blew up, and everybody wanted that rich Corinthian leather.
We're going to have to invent it.
Yep.
Just because of you, Ricardo.
Yep. Thanks a lot. Sales are tanking.
You blew it.
Thank God there was no internet back then.
I know, Rick.
People could have been like, rich Corinthian leather? What does that mean? Like, wait. None of this makes any sense.
It's Googleable.
I heard it from an actor. It has to be real.
Another memorable scene for me is when he gets home and Jane is there.
Right.
Just
cooking. The first time? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with a giant pot. And she's just stirring, and she's wearing just one of his shirts.
I'm boiling a roast.
Which sounds disgusting. But then she pulls the roast out with a big pair of like tongs or whatever. And she's like, how do you like your meat? Or how hot and wet do you like your meat?
Incredibly hot and awfully wet.
That sure looks familiar.
Yeah. I mean, dude, this banter back and forth is, I mean, the way she delivers the lines is just so incredibly sexy.
Even though none of it makes sense.
Right. Well, she's like, oh, I didn't want to get stained or wrinkled. At least.
Not yet.
It's like, oh my God, Priscilla Presley. Thank you. Thank you for this.
Calm down a little bit. Getting a little excited here.
Leslie Nielsen, well, Frank Drebin, I like his line right after. He's like, well, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go slip into something more comfortable. And then comes back out wearing like
in
one
another
of the finest suits.
Yeah, yeah.
He's straightening up his tie. He's like,
that's better.
That's better.
But I like the, you really know your way around the kitchen. He's like, I know things in like all the other rooms too, or something.
What did she say? Oh, when they sit down and they're going to eat, and he was like, I was a little surprised about the pictures I saw today. And then she was like, wait, no, I was young. I needed the money.
Yeah. He's like, what do you think he's talking about here?
I think it's a very overlooked line.
No, I appreciated that one for
right.
sure. It's like you said, the banter between the two of them is really great. And I don't know how they got through it.
I couldn't have. I would have died laughing. But especially she was like, how's your meat? And he was like, I'll let you be the judge of that. I always thought that was funny because she's eating the exact same thing he is.
Right.
In essence, you could just sit there and be like, well, how does yours taste? I mean, mine's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I like it cooked this way, but how do you like it?
It came from the same pot.
Yeah. So he feeds her a piece and she's sucking on his finger. He's like, I've got 9 more.
I do like how it was kind of like a nod to like the old, I don't know, where did it even come from? It's not the spaghetti westerns, but it's like, play me out. And it's like the old style piano, the old timey piano, because he goes to Ludwig's office to see if he can find anything.
Yeah, and he's got that big computer system. Yeah,
with all these buttons, and one of the buttons is for the piano. It's like a player piano.
Right.
And it starts playing that theme, and then he immediately turns it off. But then what happens? And then he accidentally hits it again. Something happened.
Yeah, well, what happens is that's when he looks over and sees the note underneath the house of cards that's built, and he's able to get it out, but he can't read it because it's dark in the room.
So he gets
So he gets his lighter out. Who got the lighter?
Here's a nice piece of shit.
But he reads it, and it's $20 million deposited in your bank account in Zurich upon completion of Queen's death. But he puts the lighter and the paper down, sets the paper on fire, and throws it in the trash can.
That's what it was. Yeah, he should have just let it burn out.
I know.
Because nothing else would have happened, but he felt obligated to stomp the fire out.
Everybody in movies does it, where they're like, oh, I got to stomp this fire out. Well, it'll go out on its own. Like, you don't have to worry about it.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. But that's when he bumps into the piano again.
That's right, because he loses his balance.
Yeah.
Because his foot gets stuck in the
trash can while he's trying to pat out the fire.
That's right. But
then the curtains catch on fire.
This room is filled with like antique vases and
priceless things.
Yeah, all these like priceless oil paintings and things like that. And he tries to catch all these vases as they're like falling off.
Which he's doing statues. He's doing a good job.
Oh yeah, but then when he goes to get up,
well, the curtains catch on fire and it's moving over towards this. You can tell it's a really expensive painting. So he grabs the shelving unit to stand up and just pulls everything down.
Yeah. He just knocks the whole thing over. And then he runs up to the wall because he doesn't want the painting to catch on fire, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But then he immediately slams it down on top of some weird sculpture.
It's
like sculpture that
looked like an aloe plant.
It kind of, it did look exactly. It looked like one of the sculptures that the mom from Beetlejuice would have made.
It probably is one of the sculptures that the mom from Beetlejuice made.
But, stuff like that. And then what that leads to, he has to go outside because, Ludwig just shows up and he's got to get out of there so he doesn't know that he was there. And he's sliding along the ledge and there's alternating male and female statues.
Yes.
The female statues topless and then the male statues.
Bottomless.
Yes. Shocker.
You sexually assaulted someone with a concrete dildo?
But I feel like this scene may not fly in today's day and age.
Oh, no, it wouldn't.
Because, he's using the statues to shimmy around this ledge without falling down. And then he passes by an open window and he's not paying attention. And so he's grabbing onto this actual woman's breast.
Yeah, because she's standing in the window brushing her hair.
Who does that?
I don't know. I've never come across any ladies that do it. They're like, hey, I have to brush my hair. I better get to the window.
If I spotted one, I'd probably come across them. Hey-o.
But she starts screaming, and her scream is so annoying.
It's very obnoxious. It's over the top.
Right.
Like bloody murder screaming.
Yeah, well, he falls off the ledge, but grabs onto the the male,
the penis,
the male portion,
the penish
of the set. When he's pulling himself up though, but he has his mouth open because he's struggling and it's just going right to it. She just opens the window again. She's
yeah, bloody murder. Yeah, it's bad. And then he finally makes his way into the window, but the member had been broken off of the statue.
Right.
And he's making these weird noises as he's like stumbling towards her.
Right.
Just because he's out of breath.
Yeah. And he's an old man. I mean, come on. You can't do a pull up on a penis and expect not to be out of breath.
I know.
I mean, come on.
The statue was happy about it, though.
Yeah. Have you lost your bearings, lady?
A ceramic penis at a catered affair?
But the next scene, when the mayor's talking about it, and she's like, destruction of private property, destruction of public property, arson, sexual assault with a concrete dildo. So why the hell were you even there in the first place? And he's telling her, oh, well, we have reason to believe that, he's a bad person. He's attempting to assassinate the queen. And then she was like, where's your evidence? He's like,
it burned up in the fire.
Burned up in the fire. But then she tells him, you're not going to go out all willy-nilly. Like, that's,
like, we're going to have another incident like from what
happened on the southeast side of town last year. And then she was like, that's my motto. And then he was like, well, when I see 5 guys dressed in togas stabbing another guy to death in the middle of the day in front of 100 witnesses, I shoot the bastards. That's my motto.
It was Shakespeare in the Park. They were doing a thing, tribute to Hamlet or whatever.
Julius Caesar.
Yeah.
She was like, you killed 5 actors. Good ones.
Like it would make a difference if they were bad. You did the community a favor. Yeah, but see, clearly he might be good at what he does, but he's not great.
No.
He makes some poor decisions here and there.
Yeah, the little things that you have to pay attention to after the dugout dogs shootout scene at the meatpacking plant, when he goes to not the coronation, but I guess the party that they're having because Queen Elizabeth II is visiting LA for the first time. And Ed grabs, or people are coming in and Ed and Frank are doing security. And he's like, all right, security check, but he's waving the wand all over the lady. Yeah. And she's uncomfortable when she turns around. He
pokes her in the butt.
Yeah, pokes her in the butt with the end of it.
But then he starts frisking the husband. Ed's holding him from behind.
Yeah, he's holding the guy's arms up, but Frank is reaching through and getting stuff out of Ed's pockets.
Yeah. And he finds the gun. He's like, look at this.
He was like, oh, yeah, look at this. But Ed's like, oh, you think we were born yesterday? You didn't do anything.
Yeah, and then he grabs Ed's wallet out of Ed's pocket. And he says, look, this guy's got a picture of your wife in his wallet.
Ethel.
And he punches the guy. But then Frank starts saying, anybody else messing around with Ed's wife?
Yeah. Like, all right, anybody else seeing Ed's wife? It's like, oh, that's okay, Frank. Let's just move on.
I like how they had him make the announcement about, the Queen's arrival and everything. And I'm trying to remember what exactly he says about her coming to visit. The fact that we Americans think the idea of a queen is pretty ridiculous, but we need to all treat her with respect.
Yep. And acts like dignified, gracious hosts. Thank you.
He was a big fan, as you stated, of fart humor.
Yes.
And most immature men, like the two of us,
right? We
also appreciate the fart humor.
You better believe it.
And so I do like that scene because he immediately, after making his little speech, and
because
while he's at a little speech.
Yeah, while he's at the press conference, I mean, you just see it. Well, the only thing he's doing is just drinking glass after glass after glass of water.
Yeah, there's just pitchers lined up on this table.
Yeah, and the mayor says, oh, well, we have a representative from Police Squad here today to talk about how they're going to protect the queen. So he stands up, but his microphone isn't working. I always love the scene when the lady's sitting down. She's like, here, you can use mine. So he's like, oh, and just throws everything on the table. But as he's getting it, he's like,
right into the mic.
He's like, ugh. Yeah, he's like, all right, yeah. As a representative of Police Squad with the Queen's visit, we will be studious and vigilant on all fronts. And then he was like, for no matter how silly the idea to us is to have a queen, we will be gracious, considerate hosts.
And the mayor just shoots him dirty looks.
Yeah. So she gets back up to talk, and he runs off to the bathroom, because of all the water.
Yeah. And
But
forgets
leaves
to turn the mic off.
Yeah, he still has his mic on, which I've seen like real footage of that where people are at like a press conference or something and then leave their mic on by mistake and then go to the bathroom.
It's like, how do you make this kind of mistake? You have to treat all mics like they're live.
Exactly.
Pretty much. We don't.
Yeah, and I was going to say, unless you're us.
We don't give a crap.
No.
So, yeah, the whole time he's peeing and breaking wind in the bathroom.
Yeah, and I think Austin Powers kind of stole that whole peeing thing, like that joke, because there is the scene where he's peeing and you can tell like he stops and the mayor starts talking again and it just comes right back on.
Yeah.
But I do like it because you hear him whistling and all that, and then he's
the
like
unnecessary groans.
But then you hear like water hit the floor, and Frank's just like, "Whoops!"
And then, uh-oh. Somebody made a poopsie. I do like the other opening scene with where he's meeting all the terrorists. Well, he's not meeting them. He's infiltrating this whole meeting.
Yeah, you have Gorbachev and Yasser, and I can't remember the guy's name from Nigeria or
Libya. There was somebody from Libya there, but it's like they all speak English.
Right. But I like Gorbachev because he was like, I have the Americans believing I'm a nice guy.
He's like, look at one of the recent polls. Some of them even like me better than their own president.
If you pay attention to what one of them says, they say if they will not let us, or they say something about cutting out their entrails and dragging them from here to Damascus.
Yes.
And he was like, unless they put us as a part of the peace treaty offering talks.
Right. So it's almost like they have...
I am going to bring horrible violence if you do not include me in the peace talks.
It's like they have benevolent reasons for meeting that day. But yes, violent conclusions for if they don't comply.
Yep.
And by they, I mean we.
Us.
As if we have any say in the matter. But yeah, Frank is in there in disguise.
Yeah.
But then, like, why does he take his disguise off? Like, just, you can stay in character.
Yeah, well, I think what's funny is, after he starts the fight, because he's pouring the tea, and the head guy is talking about how, weak and weak in America and feeble like we are. And he's like, and no one's willing to fight. So he sets the pot down on his hand and then rips off his face mask, almost like someone's just going to be like, not Frank Drebin.
Yeah.
They've sent the best.
You?
Part of the visual humor also I like is when he comes back from after like kicking all the other world leaders' asses and he's getting off the plane, but he's talking about I guess his ex-girlfriend or whatever. And he's like, is it true what you wrote me about Victoria? He's like, yeah, I'm afraid it's true. It's like, she met someone, ran off. They got married last week. But as they're driving, he goes, I guess I just have to... He was like, I guess I have to move on. I tried to forget about it. That's why I spent my vacation in Beirut. It's like, to get her out of my mind. He's like, it's going to be hard. Everywhere I look, something reminds me of her. And there's that plant on the side of the road. Just looks like a huge pair of boobies.
But yeah, they're at the airport, and he approaches like all these microphones, and they think that all these people are there for him.
Right. I do like how he's coming down the stairs and the lady's walking up and she has the flowers. He's like, no flowers. Thank you.
I don't want the flowers.
Yeah.
But then he starts talking about this situation with his, how he's distraught about his, losing his former love and everything. You came out here to get the hot story, right? He was like, well, none of you understand how a man can hurt inside. It's like, Frank, they're not here for you. It's like Weird Al's on the plane.
Yeah. Weird Al Yankovic. That was like 15 good minutes of his life.
Right? He's still around. He's still doing stuff.
I know.
Like, good for him.
It's not relevant, but he's doing it.
Yep. Good for you, Al.
Yep. Says the same thing about us.
Yeah, probably.
Quotable podcast. Who the hell are these people?
Hey, I know at least a couple people who would think otherwise. We're making moves, baby.
You know me. I'm a very hard admirer of the underrated movie lines.
Yeah, you do.
One of my
appreciate
favorite.
him.
Yeah, I appreciate that more than anything. And I think one of the funniest ones I have in this movie is at the very end when Vincent Ludwig takes Jane hostage. But he pulls out a little Uzi from God knows where. I mean, he's wearing a suit. So thank you, prop man.
He's got pockets, secret pockets.
Yeah, that can fit an Uzi.
Lining. Yes.
But when she was like, how could you do something so vicious? And he was like, it was easy, my dear. You forget. I spent 2 years as a building contractor.
Can we not go one recording without some loud vehicle outside?
I didn't hear anything.
Yeah. Yeesh. But the over-the-top fake props that they use in movies like these.
Right. Oh, when he's walking her up the stairs and you can
he's
tell it's
got
obviously
some, like,
a dummy.
Yeah. It's like a blow-up doll that they put in the same clothing as Jane. And he's shaking her back and forth obnoxiously.
And you can tell, too, that it's not Ricardo Montalban going up the stairs with the dummy, that it's someone else.
Yeah. And then there's a couple times where, Frank, he's going through the apartment and he's like doing cartwheels and all this stuff. Like, why? You didn't have to do that. Just walk.
Yeah, you know your apartment better than anybody.
Dude, but that, oh God, I cringe just thinking about it.
Milk?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He clearly doesn't stay at home.
It's like he's
much.
never home.
He's never home. He doesn't cook for himself. He has this little half-gallon thing, the carton of milk.
Yes.
Just milk brand.
Yeah. It's milk brand milk.
Yes. And then he goes to pour it out, and it's just chunks.
Yeah, it's like he poured cottage cheese into it. Now, the thing and then he has the mayonnaise. He looks down, and the date expires like best by June 1st, 1982.
It just says June 1982.
That's
no
right.
specific day.
Yeah. So, but when he goes from there, and you hear the knock at the door, Jane's there, so he goes out there. He's like, Jane! And they give each other a kiss, but they both put like one foot up in the air. And then he was like, oh, I was just making a bite to eat. You hungry? It's like, what? You just found you had expired milk, very expired mayonnaise. Not really sure what you're going to eat. The cheese on top of your fridge is breathing.
And moving on its own.
Yes.
And then she finds the Chinese
Wong
container.
Wu's.
I thought that place closed down like 3 years ago.
Jeez, has it been that long? I don't feel like Chinese tonight anyways. And then sniffs it.
You sure you don't want a bite? I like, they do the close up of his face.
Yeah, and then there's a unknown, or not an unknown, but like a small noise that I don't know what that was.
Good Lord.
It's a phantom, I think. I'm not sure what that was.
This podcast is haunted.
My goodness. There's not even anything down the hallway that would have like fallen. Ooh, just got the creeps.
It's that teenage son of yours.
It's the creeps, the sweeps, and the bleeps.
The what, and the what?
You know. Nah, so and like I don't want to say like a mystery noise. I mean, because you can hear it, but I like noises. Arnold Schwarzenegger has like his grunt that he does when he lifts, some incredibly heavy object. But Frank has that noise when he smells the Chinese food, and he's just like, ugh!
He goes cross-eyed for a second.
Yeah, and then collapses. Those little things are the things that I appreciate. Like, a missed line or an overlooked line that someone else would think, oh, it's not that funny. Because you just don't think about it. But then it turns out, no, it's actually very funny. So
one of my favorite, and this may not be an overlooked line, but one of my favorite lines is when he's at that Dugout Dogs facility.
Right.
And it's just him and that other henchman, if you will.
I think it was, he might have been Thug number 1. Maybe number 27. I don't know.
Yeah, if you look in the credits, there's Thug 1, 2, and 27. Not necessarily in that order.
No.
But we didn't there's no 3 through 26.
Nope.
Don't know what happened to them.
Uncredited.
Maybe they all fell into the vat first, I guess. But the thug starts shooting at Frank.
Take this, you lousy scum.
Yeah, but he's talking while he's shooting.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. He's like, stop shooting while you're talking.
Yeah. See, I think another overlooked line is when, right after that, when he shows up at the Queen's reception and he walks up to Vincent and Jane And Vincent turns around and sees him. He's like, Drebin. And then she's like, Frank? And then Frank just goes, you're both right.
Yes. Yeah, he had a lot of lines, good lines where he just was able to play it straight the whole time. Like he's saying something completely normal. Like the scene, okay, so he's in the car with Ed, and they're both eating those pistachios with like the red dye on the outside, which I've never understood that. I don't even think it was flavoring.
No, it was like an extra pink saltiness. I remember they were delicious. I was like eating, dude, you were eating crack.
Yeah,
they were very addictive.
I do remember having them when I was a kid. Now I only find like the regular ones. They have more flavors now, but
I think the red ones killed a lot of people.
Yes, that's that red dye.
Yep. Number
Dye
5.
Foreshadowing. But I like when Frank is getting out of the car and they just have this pile of shells out there.
Right.
He's got to like push the door through to get out of the car.
But he only has the one bag.
Yeah, it's just this little
like
bag.
a serving of like 15.
Yeah. But Frank has that line that you pointed out where he's talking about, it's more dangerous, crossing the street or sticking your head into a fan.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah. Well, he tells him, he's like, oh, I don't think you should go up there alone, Frank. He was like, you're taking an awfully big chance. And he was like, you take a chance every morning when you get out of bed and cross the street or putting your face in a fan.
Stupid.
It is. But it is a very funny idiocracy to it that makes it so great. So I think the one line in the movie that I could have never, and I'm probably not even going to be able to say it with a straight face now.
Well, you don't have to because they can't see you.
is when he breaks up with Jane after reception, but then he walks away and just turns around and he's like, by the way, I faked every orgasm.
He's, funny face. Oh. It's supposed to be a term of endearment too, but it's like, what if somebody called me funny face? I'd take offense.
It would be a personal insult.
Yes.
At that point.
I may not be the handsomest guy in the world, but come on.
I do like when she goes to the police squad the next day because he gets fired. And he's clearing out his desk. The clearing out the desk scene is hysterical because he's got the file and he walks over and he's like, hey, look at that. The missing evidence from the Kellner case. My God, he was innocent. It's like he went to the chair 2 years ago, Frank. But when he's talking about it, and he's like, I have to let all this go. And he's like, just think, the next time I shoot someone, I could be arrested.
Oh my God!
I'm going to be arrested. I could be arrested.
There is a chance
that I could not be arrested.
Now I do like the scene where he meets Ludwig. Where he goes to his office.
Lieutenant, the feeling is mutual.
Cuban?
No, Scotch-Irish. My father was from Wales.
Ludwig starts like showing off a lot of his priceless items.
Yeah.
And then,
well, the first thing he's talking about, like the Japanese fighting fish that he has, he's like, well, this one here in particular is valued over $20,000. And then he walks over and gets the penny. He's like, this is a rare artifact like given to me by Emperor Hirohito.
It's like a samurai pen.
Yeah.
And he's like, I didn't know samurais used pens.
Unbreakable.
It's like
impervious to
everything except water.
So he's trying to break it, and of course it flings out of the cap because his fingers slip. And there's only one logical place that the pen could fall.
In the fish tank.
In the fish tank with the Japanese fighting fish.
Of course.
So as he's trying to fish it out.
I see what you did there.
He gets bitten by one of the $20,000 Japanese fighting fish.
Yeah, they sting. They have all these spines that are sticking up. They look like fins. But yeah, that's what it stuck him in his hand. And Ludwig is talking, but he's looking out the window facing the other direction and everything. And as he turns around, Frank has to pull his hand out real quick.
Yeah.
With the fish stuck in his hand.
Well, I do that scene when he's talking and he's like, oh, just looking out there now. He's like, it's all buildings. He's like, do you know what was there just 5 years ago, but it goes from his finger to his nose, and he's like, yeah, and he's like, you bet you do. Orange groves as far as the eye could see.
But he immediately has to pull his hand out of the fish tank and put it behind his back so Ludwig can't see it.
Right.
But then he finally gets the fish off, and then he grabs the pen out. But then Ludwig, who had turned around again, turns back around, and so he has to put both his hands behind his back and
impales the fish with the
pen. Pen goes right through because it's one of those like calligraphic pens,
right?
So it's got the sharp point.
So stupid.
But it's like
it's perfect though.
He could have taken the pen out of the fish, but he doesn't. He just throws it all back in the tank.
Back in. I get when he finds it later. When Ludwig finds it later, when Papschmier shows up.
But he never accuses Frank of doing anything. He's just like, what happened? How does this...
How does this happen?
It's a freak accident.
How did the pen that I know was secure over there end up over here inside my fish?
So both my fish and my pen are ruined.
Weird. I have to get in touch with Emperor Hirohito to see if I can get another pen.
Maybe he has another. I saw a pen like that once.
Really, Morgan?
Once. That could have gone in any direction. Oh my God. Damn it, I lost my train of thought. I was the meeting with Ludwig and Papschmier.
Yes, Papschmier. You know what makes an assassin so great? It's like, well, his ability to hide his identity
as an assassin. Yes, but there's one thing that makes it even better is if they don't realize that they are an assassin.
Right. So that's when you find out, was it mind-controlling induced hypnosis? Which I remember the title of it didn't make any sense.
It was like sensory triggered, I think.
Okay.
Because so he pushes a button
on
like
his
a little
car alarm,
and then it shows a close up of his
secretary's
watch. His secretary, house person.
Well, no,
servant.
it's a secretary because she immediately becomes hypnotized, walks over, gets a gun out of the drawer. And
yeah, she pulls a revolver that's blank. It doesn't have any bullets in it.
I must kill Papschmier.
Yeah.
But after he hits the button again and she's no longer hypnotized and she leaves.
Because prior to her being hypnotized, she asked if they wanted tea.
Right. When she leaves, he was like, oh, have you ever heard of, whatever it's called? And he was like, I believe I just have.
Yes. Have you ever witnessed whatever it's called?
Yeah. And then he was like, oh yeah. And he goes, yeah, we can get anyway. But then Papschmier's like, well, how will you get her close to the queen? He was like, oh, I highly doubt it'll be her. Good secretaries are so hard to find.
It could be anyone.
That's the beauty of it.
Right. But then you got the infamous baseball scene.
Oh yeah.
And they actually used real players, which, I didn't know because I'm old.
Well, I mean, they had to. You can't just have because each baseball team's probably going to have close to 50 people in the organization. So it'd just be easier to get 2 baseball teams. So they find out that Ludwig is going to have the queen assassinated during the 7th inning stretch of the Seattle Mariners and Los Angeles Angels.
Because Jane happened to overhear him revealing the entire plot.
You're right. You were right, Frank, the whole time.
Well,
yeah. So, but when he's talking to Jane and at the police squad when she shows up, and then she's like, yeah, no, there was nothing ever between me and Vincent. It's like, yeah. He likes East German men. And what about you? I like cops. So then all the
cops act like
yo, hey.
Start
all right, settle down, boys.
Calm your tits.
Yeah. So he went from immediately being angry to, and as soon as he's like, all right, calm down. Then he's, what do you got? What kind of information have you come here to tell me? So he shows up. I think the Enrico Palazzo scene is the greatest. And then I like that it actually comes back up later because he knocks out the real Enrico Palazzo, who is at the game to perform our national anthem.
He's a famous opera singer.
Right.
And Frank goes.
Frank subdues him.
Yeah, he passes by. Or actually, no. Prior to the cut scene, you see, I guess, one of the assistants for Palazzo. She
the head
comes in.
usher will be here any minute now, and
Yeah,
he's why is he not here now?
Yeah, he waits for me.
I do not wait for him. So Frank subdues him as he knocks on the door after
He just
it
knocks
closes.
so many people out through this movie.
I wish he would have been so much better. He was like, Mr. Palazzo? He's like, yes, I am the head usher. Can we go? Oh, wait, what is that? And turns him. If he had just went, judo chop! And then gave him the judo chop.
Yeah. Not to side rail this part of the movie, but the one other scene that I do appreciate, just talking about knocking people out, is when Frank is talking to the scientist guy.
Yeah.
And he shows him the cufflinks.
Right.
That has the like tiny pin that fires out that knocks somebody out for a couple
Just a few
minutes. He's
minutes.
like, but no permanent damage.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'll show you on Ed over here.
He's like, what's that?
and he shoots the dart at Ed. And as he's about to fall
Dude.
down, he's like, why? But yeah, Frank dresses up in Palazzo's tux, which oddly fits him somehow. And Palazzo's a very large man.
Well, what's great after that is when he's singing the national anthem.
Horribly.
Yeah. I mean, he's making up words to it.
Which makes it even better.
Yeah. And this is like the guy that I know, he and we used to talk about this movie all the time.
Yeah,
and we still kind of reference it. Like we'll message each other here and there, and it'll be something from The Naked Gun.
But what if you talked about it all the time?
Go on.
I got nothing.
No, so just one of our favorite things would always be is like whenever we saw each other, we'd always just go, lots of bombs in the air. Gave proof through the night that we still had a flag. So that is one of the greatest scenes, but the follow-up to that is he has to become an umpire because he has to search everybody on the field to find out who's going to assassinate the queen during the 7th inning stretch. So when he finally, saves the queen's life and everything, and then the mayor's like, the umpire, he saved the queen's life. And then Ed is, that's not the umpire, Your Honor. And he takes off his mask and everything, and they're like, Drebin? But then that one guy's like, hey, it's Enrico Palazzo.
Yeah, not even a little.
Nope. Oh, such a great movie.
But it's weird when they were seating the queen.
Yes.
Because she's got all the people, like the security guards, like behind her, but like nobody's in the front to protect her from the front side.
Right.
I thought that was odd.
Yeah.
But she gets to see how shitty Americans can be when it comes to etiquette and, being respectful of one another, because there's two grungy looking dudes in her seats.
Right. And I like the usher's like, no, come on, you got to. And then the one guy gets up, he's like, come on, and we got to move down. It's like, no, you have to actually leave the box altogether.
Yeah, exactly. But, and then, how the vendors, they'll sell the hot dogs and the drinks and everything. It's like, and she gets to see, it's like, I have to be involved. I have to pass this food down.
Yep.
It's like, you never make a queen do this. Come on.
I do like when the big fight breaks out on the field. And everybody looks embarrassed, but the queen's just kind of sitting there like, it's kind of entertaining. Sure. I can get on board with this.
It's not as bad as I was expecting. But what bothers me is like every time she waves, it's weird. It looks more like a karate chop than a wave.
Yeah. I don't know. That's weird how people do things in other places. Stuff.
But they gave her the first pitch, but she doesn't do it from the field. She does it from her seat.
Oh, yeah, no, she's not going to go out on the field. There's dirt out there. I'm the Queen of England, damn it.
You don't know how much dirt is on that seat she's sitting in?
What is this, a cigarette ash?
Something ash.
I do like the very end when, Vincent gets Jane up to the top and Frank follows him up, and then he was like, Ludwig, stop. And then he turns around, and then Jane sitting there, and she's like, he's got a gun. It's like, I know.
Oh, what was the one line where well, Frank's response was, I know that now. Yeah. He wants to see Nordberg in the hospital.
And he was like, Frank, I love you. And he's like, I love you too, Nordberg. He was like, no, ship, boat. And he was like, that's right. And he's like, you'll get better and we'll go on a boat. We'll take a cruise like we did last year. And he's like, no, drugs, Frank, drugs. He's like, nurse, quick, give this man some drugs.
He's like,
come
no.
on, can't you see he's in pain?
He's like, no, heroin.
Well, that's a pretty tall order, Nordberg. You're going to have to
give me a couple days
on that one.
But I mean, I got to give props to OJ in this one. Like,
right.
He was actually pretty good with the physical humor, because the scene where he goes onto the boat and he gets shot, and then he goes around the room, all this shit happens to him. Like, he falls backwards, he hits his head on something.
He hits his head on a pipe going across the door.
Then he walks towards, it's like one of those
stove.
Yeah, like one of those fireplace stoves.
Yeah, like an iron stove.
He puts his hand on it, burns his hand, and then immediately leans up against the wall, has wet paint on it.
Oh no.
Then crosses the room, puts his hand on a windowsill, the window slams down on it.
Falls face forward into a wedding cake that's there for some reason.
No reason at all.
You got 8 guys in a room.
They're just laughing it up, I'm guessing.
Yeah. And then steps into a bear trap.
Yeah, of all things. Who puts a bear trap on a boat?
Then I think one of the other physical things that is funny, and I mean, Nordberg was kind of involved in it, but when they hypnotize the doctor to kill him, and the guy just like flings the bed, or no, at first he has the pillow over Nordberg's face, and Drebin walks in, and he was like, Drebin,
because he gets hypnotized or whatever. Yeah,
and he was like, get that pillow away from him. So the guy throws it across the room and then hits Frank in the face, but Frank is actually holding it against his own face
as if it's attacking him.
Yeah, like trying to fight it off. And I think Leslie Nielsen has done that in other movies. So it adds to like better comedy for something like that.
Yeah, I agree. I enjoy that part too. Another one, this might be an overlooked thing. When they're at the baseball game and then you see Ed, he takes a sip of what I'm assuming is like a foamy latte. It's
an alcoholic beverage, sir.
But you see a little foam left over on his lip, and then he takes a bite of a popsicle, and then he has a handful of grapes.
Yeah.
And then he has like a cake that he brings up to his mouth. Like, what the hell? Where's all this coming from?
Thank you, prop man.
Once again.
You are on top of it, sir.
He sure enough is.
Yeah. So. But no, that's Naked Gun, everyone.
It sure enough is.
Yeah. So, and then I guess we're looking forward to next week when we bring you
something else.
More fantastic endeavors of the past.
Yep. We don't know what it is. We never do.
Nope.
It's usually a coin flipper.
Yep.
Roll of the dice, what have you.
All right. So until next time.
Yeah.
Quotable Podcast.
Out.
Now, Stephanie, extend your arm. Extend your middle finger. Very good.